Let's get right into it. Number 9. Stanley Cups. Remember when water bottles were just water bottles? There was a time, not very long ago, when a thermos was just a practical object you tossed into a lunchbox, took to a job site, or forgot in the back seat of your car for 3 months straight. But now we have reached a point where people are practically rugby tackling each other in Target over a cup. A cup. A cup that holds water. It's like we collectively woke up one day and decided hydration needed a luxury tier. Stanley has been making these cups since 1913. Back then, the company wasn't manufacturing them for influencers in pastel matching sets or for college students trying to curate the perfect hot girl hydration aesthetic. They made them for workers, actual workers, men hauling steel beams, climbing scaffolding, drilling into concrete. These were cups designed to be indestructible, not adorable. They were built to survive job sites, not survive a day of being photographed on a marble countertop. Imagine the inventor of the Stanley thermos looking down from heaven, seeing lines of people camping outside stores at 4 a.m., waiting to buy something he intended as a rugged tool. It must feel like watching your grandpa's crusty old work boots suddenly walk the runway at Milan Fashion Week. The thing he built to withstand falling off a scaffold is now treated like a collector's item, something fragile enough that people wrap it in bubble wrap inside their tote bags. These cups used to cost around $20 to $30. No big deal. Something practical, something replaceable. But then social media got involved, and the price skyrocketed like someone sprinkled influencer glitter on them. Suddenly, people are paying hundreds for limited-run colors. Hundreds. For a water cup, people are literally paying rent money for something that keeps water cold, a task your fridge already does for free. There are resale markets now. Entire Facebook groups dedicated to cup flipping. And not just any Stanley cup, oh no. It has to be a specific color. Winter pink, coastal sage, jade smoke, citron sunrise, whatever seasonal poetic nonsense they've cooked up that month. Apparently, regular stainless steel is no longer good enough for modern human hydration. Your water bottle must now match your mood, your outfit, your car interior, and your zodiac sign. Some stores have even hired extra security just to control the Stanley crowds. Imagine explaining that to someone from 2019. Yeah, we need 3 security guards for the water bottle aisle. As if there's going to be a hydration riot. And it gets better. There is now a black market for fake Stanley cups. People are counterfeiting water bottles. Somewhere, in some shadowy alley, there's a guy whispering, "Hey kid, wanna buy a Stanley?" Real matte finish. No leaks. We now live in a world where hydration has a counterfeit division. Number 8. Carhartt jackets. Imagine buying a jacket designed to get beaten up like genuinely abused only to watch influencers transform it into a fashion statement so expensive that actual workers can no longer afford it. That's what happened with Carhartt jackets. Born in 1889, these jackets were made for people who did real work, hard labor, farming, construction, warehouse lifting, mechanic jobs, the kind of work that leaves your hands cracked and your boots muddy. Carhartt was basically armor for blue-collar America. And because they were workwear, the jackets were built tough. Thick fabric, reinforced seams, material that could survive sparks, dirt, rain, and being thrown into the back of a truck. They were cheap enough that you could ruin them at your job and buy another without sacrificing your grocery money. But then TikTok discovered them. Suddenly, teenagers and influencers in oversized beanies decided Carhartt was aesthetic. And overnight, prices exploded like someone accidentally added 3 extra zeros. Jackets that used to be $30 at thrift stores suddenly jumped to over $100, $200, sometimes $500 for vintage pieces. Vintage meaning someone else already worked their butt off and sweat into it. Influencers started wearing them to artisan coffee shops, photo shoots, and galleries. The jackets became symbols of curated ruggedness, manufactured grit. The people buying them now probably complain when their almond milk latte is too foamy. Meanwhile, the population who actually needs these jackets, farmers, welders, guys changing oil in freezing weather, can no longer afford the clothes designed for them. Even funnier, the more worn the jacket, the higher the price. The more faded, stained, torn, or softened, the more valuable it becomes. Wear and tear from actual hard work is treated like premium patina by people who have never carried anything heavier than a tote bag. Imagine buying a hammer and refusing to hit nails with it because you don't want to ruin its vintage aesthetic. Number 7. Tinned fish. There was a time when tinned fish was the loneliest item in your pantry. The sad emergency tuna can hovering in the corner next to expired crackers. Nobody bragged about canned fish. It was just canned fish. But the internet has a magical ability to pick random objects and turn them into luxury status items. And suddenly, fancy tinned fish became the new face of sophistication. Now we have people spending $45 on artisanal sardines packed in organic olive oil harvested by moonlight or whatever. These aren't the dollar store sardines your grandpa ate with mustard. These are hand-caught, hand-packed, packaged in tins, so pretty people keep them for decoration. The cans look like works of art, pastel colors, vintage fonts, whimsical illustrations. Half the appeal is the aesthetic. You could put gravel inside the tin and people would still buy it if the design looked European enough. It all blew up with a trend called tinned fish date night. Couples buy fancy tins, fancy cheeses, crackers that cost more than small appliances, and make a fancy European evening out of it. Some tins cost more per ounce than steak. The same people who gagged at tuna are now swirling anchovies in handmade ceramic dishes for Instagram pictures. Some people are even collecting tins. Collecting. Like Pokemon cards, but fishier. Fisheries have taken notice. They're hiring graphic designers to redesign their cans for Instagram appeal. Imagine being a fourth-generation fisherman suddenly worrying about your label needing to match someone's kitchen aesthetic. Social media didn't just change the market, it completely reinvented it. Now tinned fish is an identity. Number 6. The pink princess philodendron. Once upon a time, this plant was just a plant. A pretty one, sure, but nothing that made anyone scream. But then social media got a hold of it, and the internet collectively lost its mind over a leaf. A pink leaf. A leaf that is pink by accident. Back in 2019, you could get a cutting of this plant for around $20. Cheap, cute, nice. By 2020, that same cutting could cost you $1,000 for a plant that might die if you look at it wrong. For a plant whose pink coloring isn't natural, it's a mutation. A glitch. Like the plant equivalent of finding a shiny Pokemon. The pink sections don't even help the plant. They don't photosynthesize. They're basically lazy leaves. Beautiful, but useless. Worse, the plant can revert to all green at any moment. You could drop $1,000 on a rare pink leaf, wake up one morning, and boom, the pink is gone. Goodbye investment. It's like buying a designer purse and having it morph into a grocery bag overnight. Before the internet cared, these plants were just quietly existing in greenhouses. Now, there are bidding wars, waiting lists, and probably some shady plant dealers operating in alleys whispering, "You looking for pink variegation?" Nurseries could mass-produce them through tissue culture, but they don't. Because as long as supply stays low, prices stay psychotic. Artificial scarcity, but make it botanical. Number 5. Birkenstock. Boston clogs. Imagine paying $400 for shoes your grandpa wears while mowing the lawn. These shoes were once associated with people who had given up on impressing anyone. College professors who hadn't bought new clothes since 1998. Artists who smelled vaguely like paint and patchouli. But then TikTok got involved. Suddenly, these clogs went from, "I've given up," to, "I'm effortlessly cool." And without changing anything, the shoes didn't get cuter. They didn't get redesigned. They're still the same chunky cork footbed clogs that look like bread loaves with straps. Before the hype, they were about $160. Now, good luck. Retail is closer to $275. Resale is in the $300, $400 range. For used shoes someone else's sweaty feet have lived in. Foot sweat is now apparently a value-enhancing feature. These clogs were designed by German orthopedic doctors for arch support. They were not meant to be fashion items, and yet here we are, people setting stock alerts for them. Reddit groups tracking restocks like stock market analysts. The world is strange. Number 4. Vintage Pyrex. Your grandma's casserole dish might be worth more than your laptop. Vintage Pyrex has become almost mythological. These colorful glass pieces were once just everyday cookware, affordable, practical, ubiquitous. Now they're rare artifacts, hunted by collectors with near-religious devotion. Some patterns like Lucky and Love sell for tens of thousands. One bowl went for $27,000. That's a car. For a bowl your grandma used to microwave leftover lasagna. Social media created an entire Pyrex subculture. Influencers hunt for rare patterns the way archaeologists hunt for fossils. They give the collections names Butterprint, Pink Daisy, Gooseberry, like they're ancient relics. People dumpster dive behind thrift stores hoping to rescue discarded Pyrex treasures. And many flippers make a full-time income flipping bowls. They treat garage sales like gold mines, all for glassware. Number 3. Birria tacos. 10 years ago, nobody outside certain parts of Mexico even knew the name. Now they're everywhere, dripping with consommé and Instagram clout. Birria started as a humble goat stew, made tasty with chilies and spices because goat meat tastes like chewy shoe leather otherwise. But when someone filmed themselves dipping a taco into the broth in slow motion, the internet did what it always does. It lost its mind. The price jumped. A $2 street taco became an $8 viral item, and traditional goat birria got swapped for beef because it looks prettier on camera. Social media even changed the recipe. You're not just paying for tacos now, you're paying for the privilege of filming yourself dunking them. Number 2. Squishmallows. They used to be $10 plush toys. Soft, round, cute. Now they're the cryptocurrency of the toy world. TikTok turned them into an obsession. People camp outside stores for them. They hire squish hunters. There's a black market of fakes. Rare ones sell for thousands. Entire friendships have been destroyed over who found which rare cow plush first. These things look like someone ironed a cartoon animal, yet they have the emotional influence of diamonds. Number 1. Custom mechanical keyboards. People now spend $1,000 on keyboards. Not keyboards that do anything magical. Keyboards that type. Mechanical keyboards used to be tools for computer nerds, but ASMR creators discovered the thok that satisfying sound a perfectly tuned mechanical key makes. And suddenly, the hobby exploded. People lube switches, film switches, tune stabilizers, swap keycaps. They buy kits that don't even include all the letters. The rarer the plastic, the higher the price. Some keycap sets cost more than used cars. Enthusiasts refresh websites at 3 a.m., hoping to catch limited drops. All for sound, for vibe, for the perfect click. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.